trying to be a good model in our own use of social media for them of, hey, we don't live on this. We're not always on it. Like phone free time, even in the car, an occasion of like, for 30 minutes, can everyone just put it down and we can just kind of be present together like a normal family?
Back in my day, we had coloring books on road trips.
Yeah, my mom just gave me Benadryl, so I don't really remember much of the road trips.
Hey, welcome to Chapel Chat. We are glad that you are listening. We're glad that you're watching. My name is Titus. I am the youth pastor here at Christian Chapel, and I'm with Chris, our lead pastor at Christian Chapel. And we're going to be discussing social media on this episode. We're very excited about this because this is obviously something that impacts literally everybody watching this, no matter what. I mean, you cannot be listening to or watching this unless you have social media of some sort, I would imagine. And
Does Spotify count as social media?
I mean, you can share songs and share playlists.
Oh, is it another dumb app that tries to make you be friends with everyone?
Yeah. So you can be friends with people. And you can have jams with people. It's not the same as traditional social media.
I don't need to be friends to listen to a podcast.
Right. But they're trying to socialize it as much as they can. And so you're probably very involved in social media if you're listening or watching to this. So this is going to be very relevant to you, and it's hopefully for you and you get something out of it. We really want to talk about some of the big things or the big hot topic items related to social media. So really first, Pastor Chris, we're just going to get right into it. What about social media's impact on the brain?
Well, I'm not a expert. You probably actually, Titus, if you don't know, has his doctorate in education.
Know everything about the brain.
Knows everything about the brain, the development of the brain in adolescence. I know I have a brain. But I mean, literally anyone can go and Google the numerous impacts that social media has on you. One, it's addictive. Like you can just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And anybody who has it, I think would probably admit that there have been more times than they would prefer that they have, just lost track of time. Yeah. And by the time you kind of realize what you've been doing, you also realize I've actually accomplished absolutely nothing. Nothing of value has been added to my life. It creates shorter attention spans. I remember when I was growing up as a kid, you would have teachers who would talk about, we had basically commercial break attention spans that we could pay attention for the duration of a segment of a TV show. Yeah. And I think there would probably be teachers now who would love for their students to have an attention 10, span that lasted, 7 to 12 minutes. But it just shrinks it. Like everything is quick and everything is fleeting. And so we've lost that ability. I think it decreases happiness. That's a well-known impact of social media because it's a highlight reel. You're seeing everybody else's best moments. There are definitely people who post about their mundane moments, maybe too much, way too much. Right. But a lot of people, are typically just posting the things that they really want to remember or really want to enjoy. So here's the vacation, here's the fun dinner, here's the achievement of a child, here's the anniversary, the birthday post. It's just the high moments. And most of our days are not full of just high moments. There's a lot of just normal every day. And when you see everyone else's highlights all the time, it maybe makes your life feel not as fun, not as enjoyable, not as privileged, when the reality is you just don't see all the other stuff they're going through.
I've also noticed when I was really in the vein of posting a lot on social media, and I do here and there now, but I remember...
Back when you were trying to be an influencer?
Yeah.
Were you trying to be an influencer?
I was trying to be an influencer. Well, there's been phases. There's been multiple phases.
Did you ever try to be a YouTuber?
Yes, multiple times.
That's my favorite thing at Royal Family Kids Camp when I ask them what they want to be when they grow up and they tell me a YouTuber or a gamer. And I don't know how to respond to either one of those.
Because you're like, I've never watched somebody so religiously online like you probably have before in my entire life.
That sounds made up, but I know it's real, but it should be made up.
It's legitimately, don't mean to throw him under the bus.
Aren't we posting this on YouTube?
My brother really wanted to be like a professional gamer YouTuber growing up. But
I hope your
kind of
dad
grew out of
burst
that
that
phase.
bubble just like he burst your Division I bubble.
Yeah, he did. They
Good.
bursted that bubble quicker than the sports bubble.
Great.
For sure. And he jumped out of that very fast.
Yep.
But I literally lost my train of thought. I didn't really know where we're going with that anymore.
That's fine. See, so that's an impact of social media.
Yeah, you're just
like
going-
You have a shortened attention span. You can't hang on. It's decreasing your happiness. Now you're feeling worse about yourself, aren't
Now
you?
I'm trying to figure out what in the world I was trying to talk
And then
to you
it,
about.
it also increases comparison, where you're just constantly trying to figure out how you match up with everyone else. And there's always going to be somebody out there that is doing something cooler than what you're doing, or they have a better filter that makes them look a little better. It's just for all the good, there's a whole lot of bad that comes with it.
Tons of bad. Absolutely. What about social media's impact on older generations?
That's an interesting one to think about, because a lot of times people think of social media and the primary concern is teenagers, young adults, kids, but it's been around long enough now that almost every generation is on some form of social media. And then it divides out of like, there's a new one that comes out and it's just for like a younger generation, but eventually, because it's a profit-driven company, they want people of every age on it.
The oldies are going to get in there.
And then all us old people, we get on Facebook. So then, they get on Instagram, and then we get on Instagram. So then they get on TikTok. And that's where I stopped. I'm not getting on TikTok.
That's the line you draw.
I'm not getting on Snap. I'm not getting on any of those. Yeah. I'm on Twitter, but you'll never find me because I have a private account only so I can look at basketball stuff.
Updates,
that kind of stuff. So
Snapchat's always puzzled me because that was super popular right when it came out when I was in high school. And then it really died off when I got to college. And then it's just kind of lingered. It's just kind of still there. It's increased in popularity, but it's just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, you're probably a little old for it.
Oh, I'm definitely old.
Yeah.
I do not have a Snapchat.
Yeah.
I will not re-download my old Snapchat that I deleted off my phone.
But
Weird.
It's fascinating though to see it now as people my age and older now have a decades plus experience with social media of kind of the way it changes. I think one of the big things we see is it makes it so easy just to live your whole life in an echo chamber with only people who agree with you and disagree on all the same things. And so what that means is if you want to hear the same things over and over again, the more you click, the more you like, the more you interact, the more you stop when you're scrolling, the more those algorithms are learning, let's show them more of this, let's show them more of this, let's show them more. And eventually you start to think this is what the whole world thinks, this is what the whole world's doing, when actually you're a consumer being spoon-fed what they want to show you. And then when you live in that echo chamber, it makes it easier to kind of worship your heroes, because you're only being fed stuff that lifts them up, and also to villainize your opponents of thinking there's no redeeming qualities, no value to anything that they're doing or who they are. And so then that destroys nuance. Like we can't have real intelligent conversations because if we don't agree with somebody, we hide them, we block them, we unfollow them, and we're never challenged by them again. And so there's just kind of, it's like in some ways a bit of a dumbing down of culture and of logic and of our ability just to hold actual real conversations. Yeah,
absolutely.
And then there's, the time element. It's just so much. And I'm not saying that as somebody who's solved it. Like, I mean, I've put the time restrictions on those phones on my app, and my kids make fun of me of like, it'll pop up like your time has expired, and they see me hit the ignore for today button. They're like, why do you even have that?
Too.
Yeah, they're like, Dad, why do you even have that? I'm like, well, it at least makes me make a choice to continue wasting this time.
One additional barrier. I call Rachel up for that too. So.
But yeah, incredible distraction, waste of time. And then it leads to, I think, a loss of personal connection for every generation, but particularly for older generations, because you can feel like you know what everybody's doing. Like you're keeping in touch with your family, you're keeping in touch with your friends, but you're not actually talking to them. You're just looking at their pictures. You're maybe watching some videos they uploaded. And so you feel much closer to people than you actually are. But then in moments where you really need someone there, you don't have that same level and depth of friendship as if you're actually spending, that face-to-face, shoulder-to-shoulder type time together.
It's very true. It's become pseudo community, pseudo friendship. It can be evolved in a handful of different groups and communities and Discord chats and Reddit communities, and it's just literally endless. I don't even know the full depths of probably what's available out there. There'll be something that a student says here and there on a Wednesday night or on a Sunday night. I'm like, it's very cool that you're part of that community. I didn't even know that space existed on that social media app.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. In this realm of like teenagers, obviously, what is something as a parent of teenagers now, obviously one adult,
Yeah.
that you've learned regarding social media?
It's terrifying.
Great. Good luck. Yeah. Great. Now we get to throw AI into the mix, and it just gets even better.
I've never enjoyed the parents who've gone before me that kind of look back and are like, I'm glad I didn't have to do that when my kids were growing up. But I mean, I look at you of like, I don't know what the social media is going to be when you have teenagers.
Yeah.
But God bless you, and I trust the Holy Spirit's going to lead you. I think Angie and I have definitely learned we're always going to be behind our kids. So the thought that somehow we're going to stay ahead of them with what app is coming out, with what app works, with all the ins and outs of every app. And if you don't believe that, I could tell you story after story of teenagers who get grounded from one app and then they find another app that they start using. So just for example, I have a friend whose kid was messaging a girl that his parents didn't want him to message anymore. And so he got his social media taken away. He wasn't able to text her on his phone anymore. So he started using the YouVersion Bible app and set up a joint reading plan with her. Awesome. And then they were texting and his mom just saw like, wow, his Bible time is really going up. But in reality, he was just texting a girl through the Bible app the whole time. I have another friend who their kid was in a similar situation. And so he started a shared photo stream. And apparently you can comment back and forth on a shared photo stream. And so then just all that to say, there's always going to be something. They're always going to be ahead of me. So what Angie and I figured out is we can't 100% keep our kids from it. Like we didn't give it to them early. And we tried to have certain standards of like certain apps at certain ages and then with time limits, and we have passwords and we have logons and all of that kind of stuff. But if your kid has a phone and they want to work around it, sadly, they're probably going to find a way, or they're going to have a friend who's going to show them how. So our motto has then been, we're not going to keep you from it. We want to teach you how to use it. Yeah. And we want you to use it while you're in our house, not have that like you can't have any of this until you graduate. And then when you graduate and maybe go off to college,
floodgates open.
Now you have you don't have any success or failure. You don't have any discipline that you've built in. So just trying to build that in.
Discipling who they are.
Right.
Teaching them how to then use it, not like trying to create guardrails.
And then trying to be a good model in our own use of social media for them of, hey, we don't live on this. We're not always on it. Like phone free time, trying our best to be the family of like when we're sitting at the dinner table, you don't get to be on your phone. When we're out at a restaurant, phones are put away. Yeah. Even in the car, an occasion of like, hey, can you guys just like, we got a long ride. We know you're going to be on it, but for 30 minutes, can everyone just put it down and we can just kind of be present together like a normal family?
Back in my day, we had coloring books on road trips.
Yeah, my mom just gave me Benadryl, so I don't really remember much of our road trips. She said my allergies were bad.
Treat. Yeah.
I think I was just annoying.
Push up a Benadryl into the browners.
Yeah. Are my allergies bad in January?
Yeah.
Everything, they really are. It's a 4-hour ride.
That's gold.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So let's flip it then, Titus. You're a youth pastor. Mm-hmm. You were a public school teacher before you started working for us. You've done your doctoral work, education, a lot of focus on adolescent brain, adolescent development, adolescent relationships. So what do you see? Like, what are the positive impacts of social media for teenagers?
Yeah, there are a handful of positive impacts that I've observed and done a little bit of study and research on for teenagers. I mean, the first thing is it is a way for them to connect to each other. And honestly, I have seen in definitely a good degree of examples, teenagers able to connect with people they already know in real life, in their church communities, in their school communities, on their sports teams, and the activities that they're in. but then also able to connect with other students, other people their age from all over the country and honestly all over the world that they may have not had contact with in a world before social media. We were talking a little earlier about obviously kids and sports activities in the previous episode and how kids are able to get on social media and just see people that are so much better at them than what they do. But I've also seen that's also a way for you to connect with people that share your interests, where there might not be somebody in your immediate context that you share this specific or exact interest with, or maybe there are, but they're just limited. And so you can find a community online where you could participate in that. Also, I've seen a huge benefit in just the educational availability that social media provides. I think that there's a lot of phenomenal content out there. I mean, like, it's content that I've benefited from in the past years. I mean, I remember when my car was not running and I ended up figuring out after taking it to a mechanic that it was the alternator that needed to be replaced. And I went to YouTube and I found an exact YouTube video for my make and my model. And I was able to let the YouTube video teach me how to do that. And that's just a small example. But I really think for our teenagers and our students, there's a lot of quality educational material that's out there on social media. Now, is that naturally what's popping up on our teenagers' For You pages?
Right. Yeah, probably.
No, it's on. They have to search for it and they have to find it out. And I'm thinking more also from a theological and a pastoral and a Christian perspective. There's just honestly a lot of great content creators, a lot of great content out there for teenagers, for them to learn, whether they want to just learn quick snippets about how to defend their faith or they want to learn more at-length, deep discussions. It's a great space and opportunity for that if they can't get to church.
So do you see, like, is there a world where social media is a useful discipleship tool for teenagers?
I do see that. Obviously, I don't think it will ever replace one-on-one, in-person, authentic discipleship. Because I've always, obviously looking at the biblical account and then just seeing it play out in life. I mean, discipleship is, hey, I'm going to do life and come alongside me and just watch how I do life. And it's a very personal and it's a very discipleship-oriented experience. And so you're learning directly from somebody. But I do think it can be a wonderful supplication into a discipleship experience. That's how we've used it in moderation in Chapel Youth. It's how I've seen other people use it as well. But I think at the end of the day, it will never fully replace discipleship on a teenage level, on a kid level, on any level in any generation, but it is a wonderful supplication.
Sure. Now, what about the negative side of it? I mean, we don't have 4 hours for you to go into it, but what would you say are just 2 or 3, like, hey, these are some really harmful things that social media does to the average teenager?
Absolutely. You touched on it, and it's very intense. I think teenagers experience it on a very intense level, just this idea and this very real reality of comparison. You're getting on social media, and as a teenager, you're seeing people that are more athletic than you. You think that they're more attractive than you are. You think that they're already ahead in life. You're maybe 13, 14, like, I'm 15 and I got a brand deal. I'm 16 and I got shoes that are made after me. You know, like, ridiculous. With the world of content creators, you are seeing, and because it's so prevalent, you're seeing lots of very successful, wealthy teenagers. And it can feel like everybody is making it except me. Everybody is out there branding themselves except for me. Like, why am I the one getting left behind? And so even if it's not some social media superstar, some influencer, you're still seeing people that just got it together a little bit more than you do. And so that's one way where I've just seen it puts teenagers in this hole or in this pit of comparison, and then that really turns into just self-doubt, identity struggle, identity issues. So that would be one of the main things. I think another huge downside to social media is generally it almost creates, now this is going to be the inverse of what we talked about earlier, this false idea of community or this false identity related to community where, oh, well, we got online church, so I don't really have to show up for church in person, or I listen to this podcast, so that kind of takes care of church. And I'm talking about Christian examples, but there's numerous other examples. Like, I'm involved in this Discord chat. I game with this group from Sweden and Germany and Japan every night. So those are my friends, and I have deeper relationship and connection with them than I do with anybody in real life. And so I'm good to go. And that's obviously not 100% healthy. That's not 100% what we're going for as far as just the discipleship process within.
Yeah. No, it's really,
Chapel
I'd never
Youth.
thought of that before, but it's really interesting of like if you're an electrical outage away from losing your entire experience of community,
Yeah.
something's maybe a little wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. And I think among all of the other things, I think the one wrong thing, because again, there is an upside to that. You're connecting with more people than you've ever connected with before. It's an evangelism opportunity. It's an opportunity to share your faith. But I think if you're generating most of your community from online experiences, what you're really lacking is true and genuine accountability.
Yeah.
You don't have real accountability with somebody over a screen or through a screen because they can't see you. They can't genuinely be updated. I mean, you could be lying about your entire life
Right.
over the screen and over the keyboard, and they would have absolutely no idea. And oftentimes people are.
Yeah.
And so those are probably two of the biggest negative impacts that I've seen on social media. The third kind of mini one in there would just be the time sucker that it is for these kids. I mean, we'll do this exercise every once in a while. I haven't done it in a while, so I might pull it out again, where on a Wednesday night or on a Sunday night in youth, we'll just have everybody take out their phone and go to screen time. I mean, it's pretty easy to access on an Apple device. I don't know how easy it is to access it on an Android.
Probably not at all. I don't think anything's easy on those from what I've heard. I think you have to have a computer engineering degree.
And I had an Android all the way until I was like 21, 22, and I'll never go back. But you can look at it right there, and kids are like, I averaged 6 hours, 7 hours this week. And then it'll break it down app by app.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this, is probably watching this, but you can see very clearly where I am spending my time. And for me, that's just like, obviously, we want students to be engaging with each other in community, spending time with their friends, but also, spending time with the Lord. And so I just think we touched on it earlier, but if it is for adults, it's that much more for teenagers, just an opportunity just to scroll and scroll and scroll. And obviously I'm not a parent, so this isn't super pertinent to me in my phase of life and in my situation right now. But what I see also is the younger these students are getting on social media, or even just kind of being enveloped in technology, it can be something that's almost convenient to take up the teenagers or the child's attention. And so because it's convenient, it's something that's just,
So instead of the like iPad kid, it's the social media teenager.
Yeah,
Like,
just 'cause
we're
like,
just
oh,
going to
they're-
give this as your digital pacifier.
yeah, they're kind of quiet. They're just kind of sitting
They
there
don't bother
scrolling.
me. They don't argue
Yeah.
over, am I watching another football game?
Exactly.
Yeah. Rapid fire.
I think so. Rapid fire. On this segment of Rapid Fire, we're doing something. That something has entirely
We're doing something.
has entirely escaped me. Okay, we're gonna kick off Rapid Fire as I pull this to see what our screen time is like. I think Pastor Chris has a little bit of a caveat, but who knows, because this could be
I
pretty
have been
bad.
traveling, flying. So mine is probably going to be higher. I am a fan on the airplane to put my AirPods in, and please don't talk to me while I watch Netflix shows.
I've been laying out doing nothing on the couch for like Friday and Saturday, I think. So this is probably not going to be great either. But we're going to see. I have mine up. Do you have yours up?
I'm getting there because I'm old, so it takes me longer to find things.
Go to settings and then
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay. You're going to go with your weekly average.
Sure.
Okay. Or daily average. That's
Daily
what it is.
average. 3 hours, 51 minutes.
Okay. Ours at 3 hours, 14 minutes.
Okay.
But on a non-travel, I probably would beat you.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine might be higher when I'm working than when I'm
Sure.
not.
What is your, so like if you click on that See All app and website activity, what's your today screen time?
Hang on. Show today, 1 hour, 47 minutes.
Pretty close, 1 hour, 34 minutes. But I had outreach this morning.
Yeah.
So I was like out and about kind of doing stuff with our students all day. What are your top apps?
Let's see. Today or like
Yeah.
always? Today it would be Messages,
Yup.
X,
Nice.
formerly known as Twitter, Photos,
Okay. Putting together collage.
I was working on some highlight videos for Corbin from a tournament over the weekend.
Yeah, you showed me that and it was sick. Job, Corbin.
Instagram,
Yep.
attorney app
Oh,
for like, not like a gambling app, like my kids are playing in a tournament. What is the schedule app?
I literally thought you meant attorney, like a lawyer.
No, I'm also not getting sued.
I thought that's what you meant.
Attorney. It's called Sports Engine Tourney.
Right, we're
That's
making
the
some
app
legal
that I've been
moves
on.
over here.
Podcasts. That one's usually pretty high
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Because we've talked about this. You're more of a podcast listener when you work out than you are a music listener. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm more of a Creed listener when I
That's
work
why. What's
out.
yours? Quit dodging it.
So because we had outreach today, and I didn't exactly remember where the outreach was, maps for 38 minutes. I had to put in the address. And then messages for 18 minutes.
Okay.
Instagram for 8. Google Docs because I was preparing for this. Outlook, but that's usually pretty high. Sheets. I'm a big Google fan, so I'm on Google Sheets, Google Docs. If we had Gmail, it'd be awesome. But I actually like
Google
Outlook a lot.
Docs.
And then Spotify. I don't know why Spotify's on there. Oh no, in the car, listening to music on my way to work, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's my screen time.
If you could give like 30 seconds, 2-3 pieces of advice to parents about social media with their teenagers from what you've seen as a youth pastor and a teacher, what would you say?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, like there is, I think, the right age to let them into it. I do think at some point in those teenage years, it's good to let your student engage with social media. Again, you touched on it earlier. If you wait too late, it's just going to be like the floodgates open and they literally probably will be like a zombie because they won't be able to get off of it. So there does need to be at some point exposure to it, but obviously controlled exposure. You're checking in with them and what they're observing on social media as much as you can, but you're really just kind of teaching them and discipling them into the type of person they need to be. And then that type of person will be the one scrolling on social media.
Should mom and or dad have like passwords to all their kids' social media? They're teenagers.
As far as being able to lock those social media
No, like I
accounts.
can log in and look at your account.
Absolutely. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if you're under the age of 18, I mean, your parents have the
Paying
legal
for your whole life.
authority.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They have the legal authority and really the parental right to do that. And I think obviously as a teenager, that's the last thing in the world that you want to hear. But I think 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you're going to be grateful that there were, to some extent, some involvement in what you were looking at on social media, because I'll be on social media and my For You pages, I feel like, are not whack at all. And you'll come across something that's insane. And you're like, how did this get on my feed? Why am I seeing this on my Explore page? What's happening? Because it's just the algorithm throwing content out there to see, okay, are you going to like it? Are you going to stay on it? Are you going to watch it? Are you going to engage with it? And you can't avoid some of that stuff. So I really do think we don't want to like totally shelter and isolate our kids from the world. So there needs to be some exposure to that. And because social media is just here to stay and it's a part of our experience, you just need to teach your kids how to navigate it and then teach them the type of person that you want them to be, which is obviously, hopefully, a Jesus follower. And what do Jesus followers do? They just limit the time on social media. They're very cautious and careful about what they're engaging with. They're trying to use social media as a tool to learn and be educated instead of just spreading brain rot nonsense.
If you had a teenager who said, "I just don't care and I don't want it," what would your response be?
Awesome.
Mine too. Yeah. Thank God.
Don't care.
Great. I love you.
Want
You're
it.
my favorite child. Yeah. Those kind of things.
Don't want it at all. So yeah,
it's kind of rare, but I've heard occasionally.
Yeah, they're just like,
there are some teenagers that live that life.
Right.
Yep.
And we're going to see here in the years to come exactly for Rachel and I how we navigate that, how we handle that. But I do think it's really important to know how to live with it and how to have experiences with it.
I mean, you're going to have hologram discussions with your kids and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to want to go to hologram church.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is. Go to AI, go to church in the metaverse.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be pretty crazy.
Good.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Chapel Chat as we talked about social media, the potential positives, the potential negatives, and everything in between. If you liked it, like this podcast or this video. If you want more content like this, go ahead and subscribe. We thank you so much for listening and or watching. Have a great day.